A funny thing happened this week on the channel of one Replay Factor. But before we get to this week's interesting development, let's take a quick trip down memory lane and get to know our special friend Replay. This is him in 2023, pretty much telling us all we need to know.
Well, for me, it's been about 2.5 years waiting now. I've been waiting since 2021. And he hasn't come for us yet. I was so sure that the rapture is going to take place no later than October 2021. And here we are, 2023.
Only in the rapture-watching world can you openly admit that you have no idea what you're doing and it doesn't hurt your channel. Meanwhile, this is him emphatically stating that post-trib believers are not even saved. This is him saying the pre-trib camp will not make peace with dissenters. And this is him viciously mocking post-trib believers with a so-called survival kit they will need for the tribulation. Do you suppose the pearl-clutching Christians who call me divisive have ever said anything to him about divisiveness? Of course not. Rapturists are perfectly happy to insult other Christians all day long. The only division they see in the church is from people who don't want to watch. They have no qualms about calling you a lukewarm, sleepy, foolish virgin who can't discern the season and still loves the world and still worships mammon and thus will have to die a bloody death as penance for your worldliness. Don't even try to cap. You know very well this rhetoric is widespread in rapture watching. I've been at this for a while. I have watched hours on end of content from dozens of the most famous watchmen, and I have never heard one of them acknowledge a single reason why other Christians don't watch. It cannot possibly be that serious, in-depth Bible study would lead them to a different conclusion. It can't possibly be that their political analysis suggests a longer delay, or that the Lord has sent them on a different assignment, or that they are burned out by the watchman's wrong guesses, or that they see the fruit of rapture watching and are not interested in doing that. No. These explanations are never put forth as a reason why other Christians don't want to keep watching. In every single case, on every single channel, Christians are slandered if they don't watch. When people speak up to say that rhetoric is harmful, they're the ones called divisive. As to Mr. Replay Factor, his rhetoric is worse yet. He often attacks the mainstream church, where have we seen that before, with a complex conspiracy theory involving money. You see, most pastors are charlatans in it for the cash, and people stop investing in ministries when they think they're about to leave in a rapture, so it's in a pastor's financial best interest to make you think the rapture won't soon happen and you need to keep funding missions. Evangelism is a waste of time in these last days because there won't be any more revival, and professional missionaries know this, but they still want your money, so they lie about the rapture to make you think it's a long way off. And if you fall for this diversion and you don't have all your hope in an imminent rapture, then you are not saved. Yes, that is what Mr. Replay Factor teaches on his channel. Which brings us to the funny thing that happened this week. So there's a channel on YouTube that's called Love Israel. It deals with eschatology and the goings-on in Israel and is generally friendly to the notion of a fast-approaching rapture. But that is not enough to appease the rapturist monster. If you're not promoting a new high watch date every month with increasingly vivid tribulation scare tactics, then you are not pre-trib enough. Love Israel recently put out this rather passive video to try to rein in some of the unbiblical hysterics going on these days. The premise of this video is that watchmen keep upping the ante with showmanship and scare tactics that have become a circus act. From Nephilim dinosaurs to EMP blackouts to an alien cover-up story, the modern rapture narrative has built a sort of Frankenstein of scary sci-fi tropes, none of which are in the Bible. coupled with theatrical imagery of people smugly waving goodbye as they float away into the clouds. And that's not even mentioning how many people are guessing about potential outcomes for children, pets, the disabled, etc. Dr. Corman makes the case that you can go off into some dangerous rabbit trails when you follow an unchecked lust for curiosity. That was it. That was his video. He never said anything about hoping or watching for a soon rapture. He never said you're not allowed to watch. He never even said the pre-trib view is necessarily wrong. But then along came Mr. Replay Factor. Replay saw the title of the video, didn't even watch it, and instantly assumed it was about high watches. He was so triggered that he stopped right there to upload a video. And here it is. If you rebuke people who watch for the rapture, you are probably not even saved. He then wasted several minutes of everybody's time with a vicious assault on a straw man. Now, the interesting part of this is not really his very pedestrian rapturist screed. The interesting part is the full-on display of antagonistic thuggery that watchmen unleash at the slightest provocation.
I was browsing through YouTube yesterday and came across this video from a channel that I'm subscribed to. It's loveisrael.org. And the video says, you know, something like rapture speculation might lead you dangerously. And that just got me so angry. If you are discouraging anyone from watching for the rapture, for his glorious appearing, then I don't care what you claim to be. I don't care what organization you are and how much you preach the gospel or minister to other people or whatever. If you're discouraging people from looking up, then you are not of the Lord. You worship mammon and you are not saved. And what's more telling is how hard the enemy seems to be trying over this past year to discourage us from looking up. Post-tribbers, non-believers, pretend believers, those who claim that nobody knows the day and the hour. So we need to keep watching, especially as these people who pretend to be believers try to discourage us from watching. Then I don't care how much you preach the gospel. Then I don't care how much you preach the gospel.
This is the culture in the rapture watching community. This is who they are. Top to bottom, floor to ceiling, from celebrities like Tom Cody to random guys with a small channel, every single watchman I have ever seen has this attitude. Mr. Replay feels perfectly safe to go on this rant about a video he didn't watch because he knows his rapturous peers will say nothing against him. The next time you see some pearl-clutching commenter acting as the tone police, remember the culture those people defend.